Welcome, everyone, to our new episode of Sister Science Stories. Today I'm with an old friend, Nicole Dyck. And Nicole and I first met in 2019-ish when she was coming to yoga at Alchemy. And Jody and I were launching our very first yoga teacher training. And Nicole was one of the brave women, the brave 16 women who said yes to that training. And allowed us to share our first kick at the can when it came to teaching people how to use yoga to heal. So, welcome, Nicole. Today, we're going to
Thank
talk a little
you.
bit about that, your journey since that 100-hour yoga teacher training 7 years ago.
Yes, I remember when I signed up for that yoga teacher training and how nervous and excited I was. Um, the fact that I was going to be sitting with 16 females in the same room, not including the teachers, was certainly the thing that weighed the most on my mind because I was pretty introverted, closed off, uh, and not knowing what to expect. And so as each weekend went by, each gathering, there was a little bit more and more sharing. There was a lot of work between the groups, between the ladies and myself, and even the sharing circle at the end of each day was almost challenging, where I was sitting there waiting to think about how I was going to share. What was I going to share? What was I willing to share? But something that happened, something that started to happen was, and I didn't even see it in the beginning, but I was starting to transform. Like I was opening up, I was asking for help. I was sharing things I hadn't shared out loud to anyone in such a long time and really stirring things up and then it just cracked me wide open to vulnerability in a way that I'd never known before. And so we had our final gathering out. Where was that? We were out in the
Like a retreat center in Water Valley.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was beautiful. And and it was such a special weekend and everybody was so relaxed and we shared our knowledge and our love and our gratitude for that journey getting through that first 100 hours. And I believe that it was the following weekend, it was right after that. It was the following weekend that I found the lump in my breast.
Mm.
And by by December 27th, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And I remember, like, I had shared with some of the ladies that I was going in to see the doctor after the tests and all of the things. And I had shared with some of the ladies that I was going in for to find out. And and I remember sitting there and when the doctor says the words to you, it's almost like you just disconnect and you go inside and everything's all blurry. But the thing that was there was the feeling of the wonderful people that I became close to during that teacher training and that I felt like they were holding me up.
Mm.
And so that was a huge thing because it was right after that COVID started.
Yeah.
And um the support because a lot of these ladies live in Cochrane and even though we were distanced, we still like people came for walks with me and um it was COVID, but and my family and my friends, like if they were distanced or if they couldn't come, they were texting and they always felt bad, right? Because they wanted to be there to support me and be there. But then at the same time, not being able to be there allowed me to really visit myself with myself and go inside and listen and change even more because I realized that I wasn't where I wanted to be in my professional life. I was a salesperson. I'd always been in sales, entrepreneurial. But the sales job I was in was like get the money, make the sale. And there was something just so different after cancer that didn't care about that anymore. It wasn't going to fulfill me. And so I kept teaching yoga. And then after COVID ended, I began teaching at the Bow Valley Senior Center
Yeah.
because Jody was looking to leave, and then I was fortunate enough to be able to take over and start to build chair yoga with seniors, and that became my happy place every week. And sometimes I would work twice a week there. I mean, I still had a job. I was a contractor in a construction company, but the yoga really started to happen for me. Like that was the place where I could feel things, where I could continue to be vulnerable. Even the way that I taught, I was always not always. I would make little mistakes here and there, and we joke around, and it was just fun, and it was safe, and so I started teaching Bear's Paw, and then an opportunity. Well, I mean, I don't know if I want to jump right ahead to that, but going in the yoga frame of mind, an opportunity opened itself up for me in High River. And so becoming a manager down here at Public Works building, and then building a community of yogis down here was the Seniors Friendship Center when I first started was on Fridays. And it's been almost 2 years, but when I started, there was maybe 5 or 6 people. And now the room is so packed. There's usually 20. And it is very entertaining when you're like, all right, hinge forward at the hips, arms open, like reaching, and then you hear giggles, and I'm like, no inappropriate touching because they're so close to each other. And it's just my favorite thing to do because watching people move and seeing how they move and how different they move, and they know their bodies so well, and um, it just fills up my cup every single week. And you get close to people, you start to build friendships, and so that's truly meaningful because when I moved here, I didn't know anybody. And so the
Yeah.
people that I really know are the people I work with here, and then my friends at the senior center.
Your yogis.
Yeah, the yogis.
I want to relate that idea of being in the seat of the teacher back to the vulnerability and the opening up and the accepting help from people, the trusting, the sharing piece, because there's something about the seat of the teacher that it's a really safe, like you said, it's fun and it's safe. It's a safe container because you're like, I'm going to use my voice, I'm going to share my voice for a specific amount of time on a set day of the week at a set place with a set audience, and I've described to you what it is. And then it's like you can step onto that platform, that foundation, and you can have some vulnerability. You can be a bit playful. You can come into finding your voice and how to, like, I want you to see, tell me what that feels like because I find that that is such a powerful place to find yourself is in that seat of teacher.
Yeah, I think there's been times where I've actually, like even during grounding, because like when we're coming into practice, when we're sitting there with each other, and there's always an energy in the room when you walk in. It might be playful, like you said. At times it can be somber, because I'm teaching at the Friendship Center. There are some widows there, like myself, and they're grieving. You can feel it coming off of them, and so I will often ground in a place of where I come from, which is as a widow, and the support and understanding and knowing that we can all share that together and that we're not alone, because because it's a real thing when they lose. There's lots of widows in the class, and it can get pretty sad sometimes, but not in a bad way. It's in a supportive space that So we hug each other and we share that love, and I think that's lovely because it's not normalized. It's not a normal conversation, and to be able to sit and guide that and bring intention to the practice and just that awareness that it's okay, because a lot of times, like before teacher training, I never asked for help. I was on my own, right? A single parent, and asking for help just didn't feel comfortable, felt like if I relied on someone, and I think that has to do with the loss, is that that person that was always there, your best friend, your ride or die, right? That person's no longer there, and then how do you trust someone else to have your back again? And so through training, um, I started to feel that where I could ask for help. And then during my cancer journey, I had to ask for help. I couldn't go to the grocery store, or I couldn't do anything. And so, you know, friends would bring me meals. I think it was Ashley. She brought me this lasagna that she made, and then I asked her for the recipe. She's like, I don't use a recipe for anything. I don't know what I put in it. Like, it was the best lasagna ever. But it was a very humbling experience to be in a place where I actually needed to ask for help. And so practicing vulnerability became daily for me, because it's okay to ask for help.
Yeah.
It's okay to share your truth, your voice. And and I will often thank um the yogi students for their graciousness if I kind of had a blubbery day of teaching, or maybe I kind of flubbed that up a little bit. But I thank them for allowing me to be vulnerable and to give me that safe space.
Yeah. What is it about that? I guess, what is it about the yoga? Because I always keep coming back to the just trust the yoga, just trust the yoga, just trust the yoga. What is it about the yoga that sort of gives us the courage, I think, to sort of let down some of the defenses and to show up a bit more vulnerably? Because showing up vulnerably, it always is, it's a risk. And yeah, it's almost like, you're exposing all the parts of you that could get hurt. And there's something about the yoga that somehow lends itself to being able to show up that way.
It gives me freedom. I think that freedom to move and not, it's like when you dance like nobody's watching. It's that freedom to, that was the thing that I was scared of the very first time that I went to Alchemy was, oh my God, people are going to see me in tights. I never even wear tights outside of my house. Like, this has never happened. And now I'm going to go and sit in a room full of strangers and do these poses that I'm probably going to suck at. And so that very first time, I remember how nervous I was. But after the practice, I felt so free that it was like nobody even cares. You're just there, you're just sharing the space. And there was nobody looked at me, nobody judged me. I was the only person judging myself.
Mhm.
And so it freed my mind, it freed my soul to just be in that space and to move. And and nobody cares what you look like in Warrior 2. You don't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
You don't have to be perfect, and it's your expression. And um because that's just like life, like how we show up in life is our expression of ourselves. And we can't be apologetic about how we show up,
Yeah.
because then we're distorting who we are. Like we were just learning about Sacha yesterday in yoga therapy training, and we were talking about yamas and niyamas again. And because I read the book, I've read the book that we got in training a few times, but now we're going through it again, and it's one of my favorite things because Like just it's sometimes I can't find words for things, and this is one of those things. It allows freedom and expression and just that truthfulness to come through and be that authentic self that I'm always striving to be.
I love how the yamas and niyamas, these are the grounding principles of yoga. They give us vocabulary in places where we don't have it, and they give us guidance and support for things that it's like we already know, but it casts a lens on it. I'm glad. Oh, I'm so excited. So you jumped ahead and you just told us you're in yoga therapy training now. So you're diving back in. You're going back into the beast of yoga to sort of absorb and learn more. I want to know like what brought you there? Like what made you say, I got to go get more of this?
I would say that, I mean, in the teaching, right? Because I finished yoga teacher 200, and then I did with Kirsten out in Banff, I can't, Sacred Elders. And so I did 100 hours with her as well because I had been spending so much time at senior centers and teaching that. And so I wanted to really delve into it. But even though Sacred Elders, the 100 hours, it was just about aging in the body. And it wasn't, whether you're 30 or you're 40 or you're 70. It's just about how your body works. And so I found that really intriguing. And I was like, it can't be done here. There's got to be something else because I'm watching these bodies move whenever I teach, whether it's my age or older. And I'm seeing and hearing the same things, on my knee, or I just had hip surgery, or I can't move my shoulder like that. It's like there's got to be something. Like, I'm never going to be a physiotherapist. I'm never going to be any of those things. That doesn't call me. And then Susie Hatley's stuff started popping out. It was like the universe was calling me on Facebook. Like, I don't know how Facebook does this sometimes. I'm just thinking it. I'm not even saying the words out loud. And so I started looking at some of her programs. I took a couple of her courses, like those online ones that you pay for and do it at home. And then I was like, yoga therapy, what is that? I was like, are we learning yoga again? Like, what is it? And so I was gonna sign up for because she does a 1 week intensive that before you actually sign up for the program. And so I was going to sign up for it, and it was just like, it's a lot. Like,
Mhm.
there's 3 calls a week, there's 5 intensive weeks for the whole program, not including the first one. I was like, I don't know if I can commit to that. And, that's a lot. And so I kind of let it go. I let it go, but it kept poking me. It just kept coming back. And then I keep hearing that I can't move my shoulder. I can't do this. And then I was diagnosed with osteoarthritis in both of my knees in June 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. And so I was like, I can't even move anymore. Like yoga is even getting hard for me. Just the like firm fixed, forget about it. Can't do it. Um, and so I was like, okay, I just got to try this. So I had a call with Susie, and then I had a call with another lady that participated in the program to kind of give me some personal feedback of her own. And then I did the intensive last October. And so it's 7 days, 8:30 to 4:30.
Mhm.
Um, it was intense. It was perfect. It's intensive. And and so we're doing all this practice, and yoga therapy is not yoga. It's practice of moving the body to get to the yoga poses is what I've learned. Am I saying, would you say that to be true?
Yeah, I think it's movement with awareness. It's almost like the poses aren't the point. The point is you feeling the movement. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So it's
great.
like you're learning your body on a whole new, more subtle layer.
Oh, yeah, subtle, exactly. And so, like I said, the osteo on my knees was terrible. So walking even was kind of challenging, and then I think it was the Friday. So we started on the Tuesday. On the Friday, I had to excuse myself really quickly, went down the stairs. and then came back up the stairs. And by the time I got to the top of the stairs, I realized I had ran up to the top of the stairs and I did not have any discomfort or pain. And so then it's like, holy cow, holy cow. I wasn't sure what I was going to say there, but in my mind, I was blown away that just these subtle movements and going inside and really thinking and feeling what's happening in my body, I was able to change the tissue in my hips and down in my knees to the point where I ran up the stairs. And um and so to me then that was like, well, I have to do this.
Yeah.
And so um now the way that I teach, so since October, the way that I've been teaching yoga is different
Already?
because now you're thinking about how the shoulder blade moves on the back.
Yes.
How does the leg bone move in the hip sockets? And so I'm teaching differently, and I'm getting these responses from people that are telling me I haven't been able to put my hands together behind my back for such a long time, and they can do it. Or my knees don't hurt so much anymore. And so then I'm getting curious, how long does that last? What happens when the pain does come back? What are you doing when that happens? So just kind of helping them be a little bit more curious of what sets things off. So it's changed how I teach 100%.
And there's something in that curiosity is almost leading the way when you're practicing yoga therapy, and you're always moving mindfully, like you're moving so mindfully. You're not bringing pain into it. You're not overriding it with a big pranayama breath. You are practicing um, listening to your body.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know a lady last night at class. They teach at the Recplex as well, and she was a gymnast, and she's 3 months out from hip surgery, and so one of her legs is quite weak. And she said yesterday, she said, I love that we don't rush through the poses, that we take our time. She goes, I appreciate the fact that it's not hard poses, but they're holds. And then that helps build her strength up. And because, she kept saying, oh, I can't quite get into that. And we were kind of laughing, right? It's like when you're in three-legged dog and you have to bring that foot forward. And of course, she's not able to do that quite easily. And so we just take our time and we go through it. And, she said, like, I love that it's not fast. I love that you take your time with it and that we're just going through it and we're feeling things instead of rushing through because, we push through those red lights. We push through the yellow lights you feel it coming. You can feel, oh, I shouldn't move my shoulder like that. And yet we just keep pushing through. And so it's like, let's just do what our bodies will let us do for now and then keep practicing it. And then eventually, oh my gosh, I can run up the stairs. And I decided that I was going to try because it's been since October, so a few months. And then I got on the treadmill and um, the euphoric feeling that I had being able to run, which was something that I love to do. And I did it every day. And that's probably why I am where I am right now. But um, the feeling that now I can have it in small snippets and I will just take it like that. It's like the chocolate, right? Don't need a whole chocolate. You don't need to have the whole chocolate bar. I don't need to run 5 kilometers every day, but if I want to run, I can run for 5 minutes and maybe walk and then run another 5 minutes. And then that's enough to fill me up until I need it again because there is going to be a time when I can't run anymore and I wasn't ready to give it up. And I was grieving that for the last couple of years, like grieving the fact that I can't run anymore. And yoga therapy has given me a little bit of that back where now I just know when I should stop instead of pushing through.
Oof. I always say learning yoga is learning you. And learning yoga therapy to me just is like it's on steroids, isn't it? we use the word embodied all the time in yoga, like an embodied practice. And to me, that means a practice that your physical, your bones and muscles and cells and skin and bone, everything, it understands, your body understands it. And we also use the word neuroplasticity, like the idea that your brain is going in to make changes in the patterns of communicating to the muscles, to the body. And so that neuroplasticity, the neuromuscular connection, yoga therapy is yoga in general repatterns that. But yoga therapy is just like dissecting it even deeper. So I don't know, like you're hitting yoga, you hit it 7 years ago, and you're coming in for I'm gonna say if you started at 100 hours, I don't know, Susie's program I think is like 1,000 or 2,000 hours. It feels like it feels pretty big. I don't remember how many hours it was, but it felt like it was intense.
Yeah, I have another one coming up on the 7th. It starts again and I need time afterwards because like you are with this group of people for that amount of time every single day and then you're thinking about it. And so like it's constant. You almost need to step away from it a little bit because you get so I can't even think of the words. Like you're eating and sleeping it for seven immersed.
Yeah.
You're eating and sleeping it for 7 days that you have to come away from it a little bit because I mean, how do you even process it and absorb it and then put it into practice? Because it's a lot to take in and that was one of the reasons why I was like, I don't know if I can commit to this. It's a really big commitment, but what this is for me is a way to help other people get out of pain
Mhm.
and continue to live their life in the same way that I can now. I can run. And I think being that, I guess, spokesperson for yoga therapy helps because I've used it in myself and I do it every day. And and so it excites me and it scares the bejeebers out of me at the same time because next week is week number 2 and I still have 4 to go. Like, or sorry, 3 to go. But where I'm taking this is in 8 years, I hope to retire. So I'll be 60. And I'm hoping that this is teaching yoga and yoga therapy is going to take me,
For the rest of your life.
yeah, because that's what's going to keep me moving. That's the thing that when I wake up in the morning, that's the thing that drives me. I get to teach today, or well, I mean, I love my job. Don't get me wrong, I love my job. It keeps me busy, the creativity, but when I know 4:30 is coming, like I get to teach today. Or lunchtime for the seniors, I get to teach them. And so I'm super excited and I come back to work and it makes me a better manager. It makes me a better employee, a better mom, a better partner.
It's funny how you talk about needing to process and absorb everything that you're taking in. And yoga talks a lot about discernment, about what we consume, right? It just says everything you take in needs to be digested. And so be discerning about what you choose to take in. And I know I've done Susie's yoga therapy training, and I know that what you're taking in is intense, but I also know that it's delicious. I know that it's nutritious. I know that it will feed you so that you're always working from a full cup.
Mm.
And it just feels like it's yoga itself understands how to process and absorb. And yoga is a conduit of those two processes, um, digestion and absorption. And yoga knows innately how to support that. And so it's funny that it is something that needs time and it is something that you need to allow to work its magic in you, but it will. Yeah.
And it's a craving that I have too. it's a craving. Like I would, um, yeah, the yoga that I teach and it's I find it hard to have a personal practice because it's become such a social thing now that I enjoy just being with other people and doing it together
Yeah.
um and so when I do it myself, it's usually the yoga therapy when I'm working on myself. But
Yeah.
you're playing your yinny kind of music in the background and your eyes are closed and you're introceptive and proprioceptive and you're just feeling all the things and um yeah, it's like tonight that's the plan is to go home and be like, okay, I need to do some stuff. I need to practice some of the backbender. Because right now that one, I hate my life on the backbender, but like we were on a call today and she said, well, it's speaking to you. So what is your body saying? And so I don't want to avoid it. I would be gentle with myself, but I want to open it up and figure out what is my body saying when I'm on this back bender. What does it feel? I have to be curious about it and because there's something there. I just gotta uncover it.
Yeah. And back bends, we know, are heart openers. And for those of us
Yes.
for those of us who find back bending hard, it's there's a little bit of protection there around the heart because when we back bend, it's like we have to crack open the front, right? And so
Yeah.
and so you don't want to miss that conversation with yourself. Yeah.
No, because it will release something, like you said, it'll release something. Yeah.
Yeah. So Nicole, like I feel like we just had like a really quick little exchange on Facebook. And then I was like, ooh, this sounds juicy, Nicole. Will you come and do a podcast with me to discuss it? And eventually you said yes. What is, how has yoga changed you?
I would say I use the word squishy a lot. Squishy meaning that not that I'm all fluffy and, huggable and stuff, but just that feeling of um, empathy, openness, that I can love, be loved and worthy of love. Um, which to say I've been in a long-term relationship and like 4 years now, and that's something because that was never something that I was able to do either. And just allow myself to be open to the idea of falling in love again. And I don't know, I am so present sometimes that when I wake up in the morning, I can't remember what I did yesterday because I'm just so like, okay, it's another day that I get to, what is on my plate today? What am I doing today? What's going to come my way? And I'm excited and enthusiastic. And it's rare that I'm ever angry. Like anger doesn't really live in my body anymore. The joy of knowing that I'm like we were talking about earlier, like I'm gonna be a grandma in 3.5 weeks, 4.5 weeks, and the thought that I get to do that that was something that I just never thought would happen either. And, when you're going through cancer, what are the things that you want? What are the things that you're scared of losing? And that was one of the things was seeing my son get married and having his grandchild. And so yoga, and it all comes back from the teacher training because having the courage to even share this with somebody and the joy and everything that's come with it. Uh, and Jaron always called it Yoda. You're talking Yoda to me. He never called it yoga. He called it Yoda. But he was my first yoga therapy practice person, and he was so open to it and trusting, which spoke to me because he saw how it changed me, and he saw how my yoga community and the people that I met through that teacher training, he saw them supporting me. And and so he believed in what I was doing, and he believes in me. And when your kids believe in you, when your family believes in you, that's a lot. And 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 so yeah, it started that very first day that I went to yoga at Alchemy, and then took the leap. Like even saying yes to doing this, it was like, oh no, I don't know, that feels a little squishy to me. And then it got squishy.
Did.
So it's a funny thing.
Yeah. This is a two-part question, and it's my last question. The word namaste in yoga means the light in me sees and honors the light in you. And I want to know how it feels to be connected to your light and let it shine and let it show and let it flow through you. That's my first question. And what does it feel like to see that light in others? Two parts.
What does it feel like to flow? Um, I would say that oh my God, I just feel so free. Just just free. And and I think the more free that I am with myself and how I am in the world, even here I notice it. People here that I work with, people in the yoga class, like they also become like free. They want to share their light. They want to share their experience. Um, and so the freedom that I have when I say like namaste, like I don't think they get it.
No.
You know, I don't think they get it because you just let me sit up here and I just said words and you all followed me and you trusted me to take you to safe places. And just like the people that I work with here, like they trust me and and there's this innate trust that I think we have in ourselves, and when we give it back, so we just give it to others and then they in turn give it back to you. And so, but you do have to take the first step. You have to take the first step. Being vulnerable helps others be vulnerable with you. And but yeah, like I just don't think they get it.
I know.
How
And when you sit with that word and you sit with the power of it, it like you just wipe tears from your eyes. And I know that's exactly how it feels. There's just so much importance to that. That is the goal of yoga. That is our goal, is to be able to see and recognize our own light. Because that's a hard thing to do. It's so protected and guarded and defended. And then to be vulnerable enough to like shine it a little. And
yeah,
then
shine your heart. Yeah.
and then to be vulnerable enough to stand in the seat of the teacher, sit in the seat of the teacher. Svasta, sit comfortably in the seat of the teacher. And then see the lights in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's truly an honor. And I tell them that it's been an honor to sit here with you today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Nicole, for this conversation. Is there anything
Thank
else
you.
you want to make sure you say today that's important?
I would say that um, uh, something that popped up for me right before I got my diagnosis on Facebook was trust the timing of your life. And that has sat with me all the time whenever I have questions about, am I doing the right thing? Is the right thing happening for me right now? What could I be doing differently? Should I be doing something different? And that's the thing that I always come back to. Just trust the timing because and then trust if you do have, you know, why do you have questions in yourself?
Mm.
why are you questioning? Be curious, be really curious about what holds you back. Because sometimes the thing that holds you back is is it helping you to stay safe? Or are you protecting yourself from putting yourself out there? And so it's okay too. Like just take your time with it
Yeah,
and trust it.
I love that. Thank you. It is like that, right? The timing, the trust, and that all comes from trust is that intuitive place because our brain wants to have an answer, it wants to solve it, it wants to move forward, but sometimes slowing down and sometimes leaning into trust means um, letting another part of your guidance system, that intuitive body wisdom, be a part of the next decision step.
Yeah.
Yeah. Delicious, juicy conversation,
Juicy.
Miss Nicole. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
joining
Jill.
me today and for sharing your really important sister science story and the journey of this last 7 years. It's so good catching up with you.
It's so nice to see you.
And
Thank you.
congratulations. Good luck on the training. Um, it will bring you out and you will become a new person and it will be your personal HRT. It'll get you through all the symptoms of menopause.
Yeah, thank you very much. I hope so.
And good luck with that new grandbaby too.
Thank you.
I love you, babe.
Love you.